everyone. If you don't know who I am, my name is Molly and I'm currently 26 weeks pregnant. So I'm in my 6th month of my pregnancy and we're having a little baby girl. So excited. So a little while back I posted a video of me finding out I was pregnant and like telling our friends and family and then some other vlogs and stuff, and I keep getting asked to post more about pregnancy and my updates, my challenges, my symptoms, stuff like that. So I thought I'd make this video, just a little chit chat with my chai tea latte. So I'm first gonna start off with like my first signs and things that made me think I was pregnant. And then I'm gonna go into just how the first 6 months have been, my first trimester, answer all the questions about nausea and food cravings and all that stuff. So for the record, we were trying to get pregnant. So I think I was also kind of like hyper aware of how my body was and my symptoms and stuff. And we got pregnant really quickly, which I'm extremely grateful for because I know that's not the case for a lot of people. So I'm really grateful for that, and I think that's why all of this like really stood out to me, because it was like we just started trying and then I was getting these symptoms and it was like, okay, something's off. So my first one was my boobs hurt really bad. Real bad. So normally my boobs hurt like a week or 2 weeks before I get my period. And that's super normal, but this was like a few weeks before that. I think I was feeling it like 3 weeks before I was supposed to get my period or something. And it was like abnormally painful. Like, I mean, not like excruciating where I couldn't stand it, but it was like very different than normal boob period hurts. I don't know. The second thing was I was so tired all the time, like so tired, and I kept taking naps. And that's really weird for me because I never nap. I actually hate naps. I feel like so groggy and tired after naps. Like some people feel like awake and rejuvenated, and no. So that was very odd to me. I never nap and I was so tired all the time. And then my third big thing, it was basically 3 big things. My third one was I was really crampy. So I normally cramp my first day of my period, maybe my second, but I never ever cramp leading up to my period. So that was very weird for me. And the cramping didn't really feel like normal period cramping. My period cramping is like sharp pains and really bad. And then this one was just like, it was more dull and like and longer lasting, and it just like never stopped. And that, yeah, that was really uncomfortable. So it was basically those 3 things. And I was like, all of these I think are pregnancy symptoms. I don't know, but I only really had to experience them for like 3 weeks, and then I took a test and then I was pregnant. So then I knew that's why it was all happening. Okay, so on to my first trimester. So one of the most common questions that I get asked, or I got asked and I still get asked, is if I got sick. And thankfully, no, I didn't. I was nauseous often, but it was kind of like off and on. And it was at super random times and it was never severe. So I never actually got to the point of throwing up or actually getting sick. Except I did, sorry, this is gross. I gagged all the time. It was so weird. I'd literally just be like walking, doing nothing, not even like around food, not even around anything that I could smell anything. And I just like gagged. Like nothing ever came up or anything, but it was just weird. It happened all the time. And something that was really weird for me, it's like to wrap my head around, is normally if you're sick, like if you're feeling nauseous or like gonna throw up or something, it's usually because like you're sick. Like you have the flu or something and like you're bedridden and you can't do anything. And this is just for me. There might be other moms that were like, that was not my story. There were times where I was so nauseous and I kept like gagging, and then I had like a burst of energy and I went and did a workout. Like it's such a mind trip. So when I did feel nauseous, a way that I helped ease the nausea was, this is so random, but I'd suck on Jolly Ranchers. And I discovered that because one day I was at work and I was feeling nauseous and there was a bowl of candy next to me. I just ate a Jolly Rancher, and I don't know if it's just like in my head of like I'm distracting myself so I'm not nauseous, or if it actually like was doing something. I have no clue. but it helped. So whenever I got nauseous, I just sucked on a Jolly Rancher, or I had to just go do something else to not think about it. But yeah, thankfully it was never really that bad. So then the other question that I get asked still, like every day, is am I craving anything? And no, I'm not, and I didn't. I don't really know how I feel about pregnancy cravings. I feel like there's there's so many like stigmas, I don't know if that's the word, like about pregnancy. It's like you can know nothing about pregnancy, but you know that cravings is a thing, or know that like people get sick, like, and that's about it. So sometimes I wonder like what's actually in your head and what are you actually, like what's actually your body feeling. So anyways, I have lots of thoughts about cravings. I'm not gonna go into it. I'm sorry if you totally disagree with me. Don't hate me. But anyways, I did not have cravings. I actually had food aversions. So basically what that is the complete opposite. Like you're repulsed by foods and can't eat a lot of foods. Again, a part of it was like, is this in my head or is this actually reality? And I think it really was reality. Like there was one time, it was time for lunch and I didn't have anything. And so I thought I'll just go to Trader Joe's and like pick something up really easy to make for lunch. And I also like have to do some grocery shopping and stuff. So I'll just go there. And I was literally circling around Trader Joe's for 30 minutes. Just trying to find something that sounded appetizing to me. And I was holding back tears the whole time in Trader Joe's because I was so hungry. It's like, it's such a weird thing. All the time I would be so hungry, but nothing sounded good. Like it actually sounded repulsive to me. I don't even remember what I got. I think I just grabbed something and I got in the car and I called Kyle and I just started weeping. I was like, I'm so frustrated. I'm like, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry, but like nothing sounds good. So that was a big thing in my first trimester that was difficult for me. Basically the things I did not want to eat were meat. I did not have any appetite for meat or like vegetables. Basically anything that was like good for you or like home cooked and stuff, I didn't want. Like the only things that really sounded good to me were like, I think I ate toast a lot, I ate applesauce a lot, I ate fruit and like bagels and stuff, like really bland things. Okay, so then another symptom that I had was just extreme fatigue. I did not have like any energy, even though I just said like I would randomly get a burst of energy and do a workout or something, but for the most part, I was just really fatigued all the time and sleepy. Again, I remember this time where I wanted to get grocery shopping out of the way. So I woke up, I went to Safeway and got a Starbucks at Safeway, did my grocery shopping, which wasn't a lot. I didn't have to get a lot. I came home and did the dishes, and in the middle of the dishes, I literally had to stop and I laid down on the carpet because I had no energy. Like, basically, the way I can describe it is all the time I just felt like out of nowhere, I just lifted 1,000 pounds, basically. I guess that's like the best way I can describe it. I just always felt like I did the hardest workout of my life when I literally didn't do anything. Like nothing. So then once I got into my second trimester, things are totally different. It's really weird how like every week your symptoms are different and just like it's just your body is changing so much and so many new things keep popping up. So one of the first symptoms, I don't know if I experienced this in my first trimester or when I got to my second, but was nosebleeds. I didn't get like drippy nosebleeds. This is probably just like a TMI video, but basically every single morning I blow my nose and it's blood. Like there's blood in it. Every single morning. It actually is a symptom. I read it in my app. I use, what's it called? The Bump, I think. Yeah, I use an app called The Bump and it tells me each week like what symptoms you may be having and stuff, and it's extremely helpful. But then on top of the nosebleeds is I'm just like, this is so gross to say, I have like a lot of boogers in the morning. like way more than normal. It's weird. Like I blow my nose all morning. I wasn't sure if I was gonna say this because I feel like it really only happened one time, but I'm still gonna say it. Is there was one day that I almost fainted. I was at someone's house helping them like they make toffee for their as their job. And so I was helping make toffee for them to sell. And I was just feeling like so lightheaded. My mom was there too. I was like, hey mom, can we like switch stations? Cause I'm like, I don't know if it's because like my head's down, I need to put my head up. But we switched and then nothing changed, and I excused myself to go to the restroom, and I blacked out the entire way to the restroom. Like I couldn't see anything. And when I got in the bathroom, I literally just hung over the counter and laid there for like a couple minutes. It was so odd. I literally almost passed out. And it was just super weird. And I'm always calling Kyle and telling him what's going on. So I called Kyle on my way home. He's a week ahead on the apps because I thought I was a week ahead in my pregnancy. And so he refuses to change it. So I don't know why. But anyways, he's like, well, I'm on the week ahead. And actually one of the symptoms for that week is fainting. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know if that was just like I was maybe dehydrated that morning or didn't eat, but I did experience that, but it was just one time that I almost fainted. Okay, so this was like a major one, and I don't really feel it as much anymore, but it still comes and goes. Is like serious, crampy, achy pains in my stomach. And it's not crampy like a period cramp. It feels like I just did a really, really difficult ab workout and my abs are strained. But I was talking to Kyle's mom about it, and she was like, well, yeah, like literally this is your first baby. And so your body is like stretching its muscles and making room for the baby. So yeah, it basically feels like you have pulled muscles. And I was like, oh, it's like that feeling after you do a really hard ab workout and you try to like get up from laying down or something, and it's like, ugh. And then sometimes it would be like sharp pains. And I don't really know like what exactly is happening in my body that's causing these different types of pains, but I knew that it was all normal. Nothing was ever concerning, well, except for one time. I got this extremely sharp pain on the right side of my lower abdomen. And it actually hurt to walk. Like every step I took, it hurt really bad. When I would sneeze, like this pain shot through, and oh my gosh. I remember we had to film for church that day, and I almost called to say I can't come because I like couldn't even walk or anything. So that was the only time that it was actually kind of concerning, but I felt her moving like the whole morning and the whole day. So I was like, okay, well I think she's fine. And then the pain went away and that was fine. I try not to overthink too much in the pregnancy because I do have to remind myself that my body is doing something that it's never done before. I've never experienced it before. So it's gonna do things that I'm not used to it doing. So does that make sense? You know what I mean? So it's like when my body does something different, instead of me freaking out and being like, what's happening? I've never felt this before, is like, yeah, you never felt it before. You've never grown a baby before. That's basically how I keep my peace of mind. Like if something hurts or something, I'm like, my body is literally creating a baby and making room for things. So things might kind of be uncomfortable and achy and pain sometimes. However, if you are feeling like extreme pains or something that you're concerned about, talk to your doctor. Don't just like rely on what I said of like, oh, let it go. Because I don't want to advise you to ignore something that actually could be serious. So if it is, go see your doctor, please. So the symptoms that I'm really experiencing now is back pain. I started experiencing it earlier before I was like barely showing, and I didn't really understand like how do I feel back pain if like I don't even have like that big of a bump yet to actually like give me pain of carrying it. But then someone had told me like, well, I don't know, maybe my app said it. It's like your baby is actually like pushing on your spine, so it's causing back pain doing that. So it's not just the heaviness of carrying a baby, it's like actually it's pushing on your spine, which is giving me pain. So I should have mentioned this earlier, but another big symptom is frequent urination. Woohoo! I pee all the time, oh my gosh. I wake up probably like twice every night to have to go pee, and it was happening so much that I literally got a night light in my bathroom because I didn't want to have to like keep turning on the light and blind myself like multiple times a night. So that's been kind of annoying, is just having to pee all the time. I only have a few more things I'm just gonna fly through. So one thing I have experienced a little bit is Braxton Hicks contractions. At least I'm pretty sure like this is what's happening from what I've read on them, is it's like your stomach just tightens and gets like super, super hard. Like it literally, when I touch it, it's like rock hard and everything tightens. And then all of a sudden it just like, and then it's done. And it doesn't hurt at all. It's funny because the only thing I knew about Braxton Hicks Braxton Hicks contractions was that episode of Friends where Rachel was getting them and she like went to the hospital and everything. And I'm like, mine aren't painful, but maybe some are painful. But then that's when Ross was like, he's like, oh, women have them all the time and some don't even realize it, or like some don't even feel them or something. Another extreme TMI thing is discharge. Okay. Excess discharge is a thing in pregnancy. I don't really know when I started noticing it, if it was in the first trimester or second, but that's a thing. It's just way more than normal. And then I really think my last thing is like itchy skin, like my belly getting itchy because my stomach is growing, you know, skin stretching, and so it's itchy. So I use belly butter every single day on my stomach and my hips, and then I use another kind of belly butter that I literally put everywhere else. Like I put it all on my thighs, my legs, my arms, my chest, my boobs, everything. So the one I put on my belly and my hips is by the brand Skin & Senses, and it's their Fearless Mama belly butter. I love it so much. It like smells like cotton candy. It's amazing. And then I use the Burt's Bees belly butter on everything else. The thing I like about the Burt's Bees is it soaks in really quickly. I love it so much. And then the Skin & Senses one doesn't soak in quickly at all, but it feels like ultra hydrating. So basically after the shower I put it on, and then I'll like kind of be naked for a while to let that all soak in before I put my clothes on. And then if I don't have time to wait, then I'll usually just do the Burt's Bees one on my stomach, because I don't like putting clothes like over like normally like stomach. I'm trying to think of like any questions that people might have. I have worked out my whole pregnancy. I don't work out super often, just like a few times a week maybe. You do have to modify a lot, like there's a lot of ab workouts you can't do, but I just kind of avoid abs. My appetite is totally back. I now don't have any food aversions, which is nice. Like everything is back to normal, so I feel like I can just eat how I did before. Ugh, my nose is so itchy. So I think that's it. I'm gonna be so frustrated if I watch back on this video and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot all these things. But I think I hit everything. I even like went through the Bump app and went back on the weeks to see like what symptoms are and to see if I missed any. And I think I got it all. If you have questions, I'd love to answer them. Maybe if there's enough questions, I can do like a pregnancy Q&A or something like that. I'll probably do an updated one like after the baby's born and stuff, and tell you how that's all going and how my third trimester symptoms have been and everything. So anyways, I hope that you guys really enjoyed this and that it was helpful for some of you. I have watched plenty of videos about symptoms, and even when I was just trying to figure out if I was pregnant, I would always watch like first sign videos and stuff. So anyways, I hope that this was helpful and that you enjoyed it. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me while I drank my tea latte thing. And I hope you have a great day, week, everything. And I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye.